Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is about sharing with you 7 tips and steps that you should use to manage your finances properly. Stick around to the end of the video and I want to share some exciting news about a new video that I'm planning for next week. So I had a bit of a setback this week. My house was broken into and my laptop that I had my video on for this week was stolen. But the show must go on, right? So right now I'm recording a new video for this week and hopefully I can get it out by the end of this week. I want to tell you a quick story, my story, and then you tell me in the comments below whether this sounds familiar. I started studying for my career after school and thought once I finish my studies I'll get a good job, earn a good salary and live a good life. So I enjoyed my student life, I passed my studies, I tried a few things on the sideline, trying to make a few extra bucks here and there, trying to build sideline businesses, but I never really took it seriously. And I started spending the income as it came in. I had a pension fund, but I soon used that to pay off debts that I was making for things that I didn't necessarily need right at that time. I spent all the money that came in and never had any money left at the end of the month. I always had more month left than money. As I grew older, I continued that bad habit and kept on making debt to buy things that I should have saved for earlier in my life. A couple of years ago, at the end of 2018, I simply realized that I was in too much debt and I had to make some changes. Up until that point, I had this attitude of, if I can just earn enough money, I can be okay. But that kept on snowballing and snowballing and snowballing to such a point that my debt caught up to me. And I had to make some drastic decisions and I had to take a step back and realize what I've done to my finances. So if you've come this far, thank you for sticking around. My name is Weide-Market and let's start looking at 7 things that you should be doing to manage your finances properly. By the way, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for future videos. Anything I share in this video in terms of links will be in cards above my head or links in the description below. So the first thing you need to be doing is, number 1, to be honest and do so brutally. You need to make some decisions about your life and about your finances and the lifestyle that you are living. And you cannot do that by continuing believing that you're okay and continue lying to yourself about your finances are under control. If you have too much debt and you are living above what you make in a month, then you are in trouble and you need to make some serious decisions. The next step, the B word. You have to have a written budget. If you do not tell your money where to go, it'll just flow. And before you wipe your eyes, at the end of the month, you have more month left than money. In the card above my head, like I said earlier, I'll share a link to a video that I did on how to structure your budget, how to tell your money where to go. I'll leave the link in the description below as well. Step number 3, you have to get out of debt. Take stock of all the debt you have, list them from the smallest amount of debt to the largest amount of debt and start snowballing them. I'll speak a little bit about that further on. But you have to get rid of the debt. Debt is killing you, debt is eating up your future income, and the interest on that debt is creating a shortfall every month regardless of the money that comes in. Moving on to step number 4. You have to live on less than you make. What does that mean? So if you make this amount of money at this level on a monthly basis or weekly basis, no matter how you get paid, you have to live, your living costs need to be down here. And the surplus in between, we'll talk a bit later on what to do with that money. But the bottom line is, you have to live on less than you make. Once again, in the card above my head and in the description below, I'll leave a link on another video I did about why it is so important to live on less than you make, or less than you earn. Moving on to step number 5, is you have to start saving and investing. So on this card I wrote 10 to 20% savings. In the video I mentioned earlier about structuring your budget, I go into more details about what to do with 100% of your after-tax income. But you have to save money. You have to put money aside for a rainy day, and you have to put money aside for the big ticket items that you want to buy. You cannot continue buying things on debt and paying for it in the future with interest. You have to stop living with this core belief that if you do not have cash to pay for something right now in full, how do you have the cash to pay for it in future with interest? And that is what making debt is. So saving for your big ticket items is vitally important. Here in this step you also need to start investing, and I talk more about that in some of my other videos. So please check out my channel for other videos that I've done in the past. Step number 6 is that you need to start being generous without expecting anything back. Because genuine generosity means that you give without expecting anything back. I recommend you go Google the 7 baby steps of Dave Ramsey and follow those baby steps from 1 to 7 and progress in that way to get to a point where you can be generous with your time and your money, because you'll create freedom with the wealth that you create, and you'll create enough money for your income, and you'll have enough money to cover all your expenses and then some. The last thing, and this is not really a step, this is more a continuous process, is that you always need to be upskilling yourself. You always need to be educating yourself on doing things better than you've done them in the past, or educating yourself about new developments in the markets or in your niche or in your field of expertise. Especially in the way the workplace is developing, and you always need to be problem solving, you always need to be learning new skills to be relevant and to be able to add value to either your customers or the company you work for. So always be humble, always be educating yourself, and always know that you do not know everything. So this was just a quick rundown on a couple of steps, and obviously there's a lot more details about it, and maybe in the future I'll make some more videos with more details about each individual step, or I'll just make a longer video of more details on every step. If you'd like to see that, please leave a comment below, or any other topic that you'd like to have more information about. Thank you for watching to the end. At this point, I want to share a video I'm quite excited about, because this channel is always about generating extra income, managing your finances, being a good steward to the finances that you have available to you and have been blessed with. In the next video, I want to talk about the topic of money not being that important. And if you're chasing money, and if money drives you, pretty soon you'll be drying up, or your passion will be drying up, your energy just dissipates. Come back again next week and I'll share that video with you next week. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the weekend coming up. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.